In 1975, Alice Neuenschwander, an active member of Salem United Methodist Church, went to Eastern Ohio to visit family. She went shopping at a fair trade store established by the Church of the Brethren. Its mission was to help eliminate poverty by establishing fair trade supply chains and selling goods in church settings. This idea made such an impact on her that when she returned home, she presented the idea to the Administrative Council of the church as a good mission project. The Administrative Council was dubious that this could work, but in good faith, they loaned her about $250 seed money, and a small group of 8 like-minded people formed a committee. There was much discussion as to what they should name this new mission venture. In Genesis, after the great flood, Noah sent out a dove which returned with an olive branch in its beak. The olive branch symbolized hope and the renewal of life after the flood ended. This is exactly what shopping fair trade did and still does. It symbolized hope and the renewal of life for refugees living in foreign countries after World War II. Now that they had a name, they had to decide where to get the fair trade goods the olive branch would sell. There were only a few choices, and Alice and her small committee chose SERVE. SERVE, Sales Exchange for Refugee Rehabilitation and Vocation, is one of the first fair trade organizations in the world. It was started by the Church of the Brethren in 1949 after World War II by helping European refugees trade their handicrafts for income. They employed these artisans who utilized their traditional crafting methods, patterns, and materials to create their handicrafts. Eventually, their mission grew to include small-scale farmers. Over the years, they worked with churches, retail stores, and other groups all over the world to promote and sell fair trade items. SERVE's mission was a good fit for the olive branch's mission of hope and renewal for life. Lastly, they needed a location. They chose the Ritchie Motel on Route 19. It provided public access, the rent was very low at $75, and no lease was a bonus. There were challenges at this location, mostly because the store had no control over who rented the rooms around them. They only stayed at this location for about a year. Another church member opened a restaurant in Cranberry called East and West International Restaurant. There was a small cottage behind the restaurant, and the olive branch moved into its own space. They stayed in this space for the entire 8 years the restaurant was in operation. The olive branch then moved into the basement of the church and stayed there until December 2015, when it moved to its present location. Once the shop moved to the basement of the church, it no longer got foot traffic from people eating at the restaurant or just driving by on Route 19, so it could no longer be open every day. They decided to only open for typical shopping times, like between Christmas and New Year's, and a few other holidays when gift buying is the norm. Volunteers also took items from the store to the United Methodist Annual Conference, Methodist Women's Mission Conference, and a few Christmas craft fairs at various churches in the area. For many years, the olive branch sold items like carved wooden animals from Kenya, olive wood figurines from Jordan, brassware from Korea, and baskets from Pakistan. There were also many Christmas items. There was a variety of creches, such as woven ones from Guatemala, brightly painted crochet eggs from Peru, and carved olive wood from Jordan. Every year they would expand inventory and purchase a few different items. In time, expanding the countries they supported, such as Haiti, Cameroon, and Vietnam. Eventually, we expanded our inventory beyond only ordering from SERVE. 10,000 Villages was the first fair trade vendor, where SERVE was founded on the Church of Brethren values. 10,000 Villages was founded on Mennonite values. Since moving to our current location, we've purchased merchandise from many different fair trade vendors. Some of the merchandise carry one or more of the recognizable seals, such as the Fair Trade Federation, World Fair Trade Organization, Fair Trade USA, or Fair for Life. And some of our merchandise follows the fair trade values and principles, but does not belong to one of these organizations. because the Olive Branch has always been a mission outreach for Salem United Methodist Church, all proceeds were donated. The board members would meet and make a group decision as to which causes they would support. They distributed funds to Haiti for flood and hurricane relief. They supported the Black African College Fund in Zimbabwe and supported a Laotian refugee family, as well as a family from Zimbabwe who came here for college education. Today, we are still using proceeds to support causes. Our mission sewers and knitters sent 2,000 masks to Indian reservations during the pandemic. They make items for babies in the NICU, fidget blankets for Alzheimer's patients, and purses to keep girls in school in Zambia. The move from the church basement to our present location in 2015 was a significant risk-taking step. This time there was a lease, and the rent was much more significant. Besides selling fair trade goods, the Olive Branch has become part of the community. A knitting group and a sewers group meet regularly. Not only does it provide support to various causes, but it also furnishes small group support and fellowship to people from the community who participate. As we celebrate our 50th anniversary, much has changed, but one thing is very much the same. We are still a mission-based project from Salem United Methodist Church, symbolizing hope and renewal of life for artisans and small cooperative farmers. We do that by only dealing with vendors who focus on helping to eliminate poverty, by supporting the strengthening of farmers and artisans worldwide, ensuring fair wages, education, and safe working conditions. Alice was correct. The Olive Branch was and still is a good mission project for the church. The Administrative Council made a good decision.